Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So I'm back on the farm. It's been a little while since I've popped into the series here, so just trying to get reoriented. So I know we were working on the alfalfa. We're sitting here, worried about the eggs. We've got that really to get done, and then obviously the tomatoes and lettuce are what we're focused on at this point. So if I head over here, we can see I've got 300,000, about 298,000 of alfalfa straw. I need 494,000. So I need, not quite double that, but so basically I need to go ahead and do what I did and get another collection of that. And we do have some bales laying on the field here. I'm in the wrong field. So, alfalfa's harvested, but it should grow, and we should be able to get that going, but we do have some more bales here. So I'm going to go ahead and head off till morning, and we'll see where things sit. So we've got, a good amount of bales laying around here. A lot of them rolled down the hill, as we can see. I'm going to start with this right now, and then we'll get moving on some additional work as necessary, but we'll see where this all sits once I collect this up and see if I'm good with the alfalfa. Because the hope is, if I've got another group here, I'll be able to have about the same amount and therefore be able to be complete with that and not have to worry about the alfalfa going forward. I'm going to take my larger tractor and do the bale pickup just because, again, it'll be easiest to go up and down that hill with the load. So as we do that, welcome to those who are new. Welcome back to those who have been regular followers of the series and so forth. So what I'm doing here is, and why it's called the VIP series, is I use the VIP order manager, which is what I was looking at, that is showing me that they need 500,000 liters of alfalfa and straw and so forth as the focus of the single player series that I do at this point, because I really enjoy the fact that it kind of gives you that target of something to work toward. And it's just less of a, well, what do I want to do today, and more, what do I need to do today? What a typical farmer would be looking at, although I think any farm that would be trying to do what I'm doing now would struggle with a little bit of sanity, maybe, just because you're constantly not knowing what tomorrow's going to bring. But given that this is a sim and a game, we go ahead and add some of that entertainment in, because otherwise it would just be a job and we'd just be running a farm and doing nothing else. So for those looking for a little bit more the traditional, hey, I've got a farm, I'm running it, I encourage you to check out the FOC series, which is the multiplayer community that I'm part of now, Farmers Only Club, that has Misty Hills Agriculture on it and has been the ongoing enterprise in different multiplayer communities on the channel for pretty much since the beginning of what I do in Farming Simulator. So let's see. I'm wondering, I'm not sure that we're going to get quite what I was hoping here. Because the difference we should have from last night is this is now growing, which it is. So you can see that, but these are only 9,000 liter bales, and that means at 10 we only have 90,000, and I need really 200,000. So I need at least a full trailer here, and I'm not sure that I have that. This is my biggest tractor, and you can see how much fun it's having. So, not sure. I mean, we've got some up here. I don't know, we might have enough to fill the trailer, but it'll be close, and even if we fill it, I'm just not quite sure it's gonna quite get me there, because 298,000, I mean, if they were 10,000 a bale, a full trailer would be 240, but they're not, so we do have that going on. But at this point, you know, with 20 we'll be at 180, so we're gonna be close, but we may still have to cut some more alfalfa. No, we might actually have enough to fill us up here, so that's good. Alright, so we have one extra bale, so if we're within 9,000 liters once we put this in, then we'll be in good shape. Just moving this into the transporting position to get through the gate, because otherwise that arm is out. So last episode, we went through having to modify these storage bins, these hay and straw storage areas. Well, I haven't modified the hay one yet, but at least now I have an idea of what I need to do. But I was experimenting, and I got this one to work with the straw, so that's why you see regular straw and alfalfa straw in here together, because it's able to do that. But this should now take it, but that's also why we don't have some visibility of the hay or the straw showing up and stacking like you would normally with this asset. Alright, 515,000, so excellent. So we have what we need. So I'm gonna go and just grab that additional bale off the field, because otherwise it's just gonna sit there. I'm gonna forget about it, and then I'll be like mowing and be like it's in my way. So just to clean things up, because while the focus on this in the series absolutely is let's just plow forward and serve our VIPs and make progress as much as we can, there's a little bit to certainly be said for just the standard. Let's run a efficient farm and so forth, so that we're not doing ridiculous things. So the plan here is to leave field 10 as my alfalfa field, because I'm imagining we're going to have some regular needs. It's pretty common within VIP, well, you know, kind of the testing I did as I was making sure I could get the new crop types on the map working and so forth, and then obviously moving things around within the structure as far as what I wanted to actually see happening, that the alfalfa hay or alfalfa straw would come up, or even alfalfa in general would come up relatively regularly. You know, I'm gonna put this over here because I kind of was saying this is kind of where my grass stuff is happening, or alfalfa stuff, so we're not doing grass. Everybody knows how grass works. We have the benefit here of doing alfalfa, not that we don't know how that works, because it's a type of grass. Alright, let me just stop here. So let's go back and focus on what we've got. Eggs are getting made in the new barn that we created. You can see it there kind of straight ahead on the horizon. It's got the little vehicle the trailer right there next to it, and then that's our chicken barn. We've got a good amount of chickens in there, but not a ton. So we've got our tiny chicken pasture that's doing like almost no eggs at all, but then this is where we're producing. And so right now we can see we're at 100% productivity. We've got a good amount of health, 600 chickens. I think that barn can hold 2,000. So at this point, I'm just, rather than buying them all and going crazy to begin with, I've let that work. But if we pop over here, you know, this is, I think, where we get our eggs coming out. So this is where we're going to have the majority of things. So, you know, 1,400 pieces we'll be able to hopefully get in here with some equipment. I'm going to open these doors so that I'm going to be free to maneuver, but you know, the hope is I can pull in here with some sort of a vehicle, or if nothing else, I'll just move them outside, but we'll be able to collect those up, and this should produce relatively quickly. But if we head in here, these doors are a little tight on this barn, I figured out. Come on. I should be able to get in there. Maybe not. There we go. So, you know, there's the chickens. We've got the feeders down, and then the laying stations are here. And so then, you know, this equipment is automated. It kind of sucks the eggs through and collects everything in. So that is how the barn works. You know, and if for some reason we like didn't want to feed them, you can stop feeding them by lifting these dispensers. We'll leave that open so we can see them. And then this is, you know, kind of the feeding thing here, and you can see, you know, right now we've got, you know, nothing left in the trailer, but the hopper here is how we feed things in, and it's all connected up. So it's a pretty nice barn. Found it on ModHub. Definitely think this is going to help, because otherwise what the farm came with was that little chicken pasture with 47 chickens, and getting 30,000 eggs or 30,000 liters of eggs out of 47 chickens takes a bit. It's probably still going to take a bit with 600, but it's going to be a lot less time than with 47. Okay, so the other piece we need is flour, 48,000 liters of flour. So if I head over here, another mod I'm using in the game is one that increases the storage capacity. So you can see we've got, you know, double stacked here, plus we've got 30,000 liters of flour inside the facility. So we have plenty to meet our need for 48,000. And you can see sorghum flour out of space, because basically we still have a little bit left that we could crank into flour, but right now everything's stopped because it can't do anything more. So our biggest focus right now is the greenhouses. Again, they're going to be able to double stack similarly here. So it's just starting with the lettuce. We've got our automated pallet loader, which has been a godsend for a series like this where we're doing a good amount of volume of pallets. You know, because what I'm trying to do is to use the Platinum expansion productions. I haven't had any needs from that, but it is possible that our VIPs will ask for that. So I just wanted to make sure seeds, fertilizer, we're in good shape for both lettuce and tomatoes. But at this point we're kind of in a waiting mode where I just need to plow through these things. But the next thing I need then is meal, but I believe I have enough of that. So I think right now, if we go peek here, we have 117,000. We need 116,000, so we don't have much extra, but we have enough. I have enough to fill all the orders at this point, now that I've picked up the alfalfa straw, for everything I'm aware of. So at this point, I just need to work through things and start getting things delivered. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'll bring you back as I get close to finishing something, and we'll just keep you posted on how the VIP orders are going. And most importantly, once we finish level 4, we'll see what the level 6 needs are, and I'm hoping that we can get there within this episode. So I'll see you in a bit. So my thought here is I'm going to go ahead and get some of the sorghum over to the chickens. I know when I just was feeding my chickens over there, you know, right in this area here, when I was feeding them just sorghum, it didn't appear that they were doing much of anything. Even though it says it'll do stuff, but it goes in that, I think, protein, or, you know, yeah, it goes in the protein bucket of the 50%. So you would think I would have at least gotten like half the productivity, because I'm just not quite sure with what I have with the barley that I've put in there, if that is going to be enough. But I'm hoping mix together with the barley that we'll be in good shape. Alright, but that gives us 18,500 liters of sorghum. And we can see it's, heading into the protein. And then in theory, what it'll do is it'll process a mix of that. Obviously, the total capacity gets taken up. But the situation was that I was starting to wonder, do I need to get a crop of barley in the ground? And then I remembered that I had the sorghum and that at least in theory it's supposed to get me there. Because when I look at this, basically it was going down about 300 and then I was getting about half that in eggs. So, the hope is here, I'll keep an eye on this. But I've got 94,000 liters of sorghum, and so if it starts using a good amount of that, hopefully I'll have enough here to get things produced. But if not, we may run into a situation where I have to grow a crop or have to buy some chicken feed or something to go ahead and get that done. Did in the interim go ahead and deliver all the tomatoes I had. That got me another 8,000 liters, and we've moved ahead a month. So this becomes the reality with some of the crops where you're waiting for production, and that's why, like on the flour, I made sure I got ahead as much as I could, which ended up being all of it. But that's the benefit, and I think there's just enough work, which is why I've only got 2 levels showing here in the VIP orders. If you use the VIP order manager as it comes, it shows you 4 levels. Alright, so I'm going ahead and letting things proceed, but I'm seeing something interesting here. You'll notice it's only consuming the grain. It's not doing anything with the protein, which is really interesting that that's how it operates. Bringing you back here in early morning on September, so several months later than we were. I am still working away at things. I'm not terribly thrilled with what the egg production is looking like. I'm just not sure what's going to happen. So you can see I'm at 59% productivity, but I've consumed like 8,000 liters of sorghum and gotten like maybe 2,000 liters of eggs. Like, they're definitely struggling to get things done. I just delivered all the tomatoes that I had, so I have about 2,000 liters more of tomatoes that I need. And I need 17,502 liters of lettuce, which I think I have. So I've limited the trailer to that 17,502. I think I need to shift. I guess I'm going to try this, because I was set to right, and when I pulled in the row, it ended up at one point starting to grab tomatoes, when I really had wanted to go in there and grab lettuce, because that's the majority of what I've got here. But I'm going to see, because it also required me to get insanely close, but now it looks like it'll load either way. Alright, so let me get a little bit further along here, and then I'm assuming it will keep grabbing pallets. Yeah, see, it's like what I haven't figured out is what's the trigger point for these. Because obviously, it'll grab things. I know there was a few thousand liters more in the greenhouse, so that's where the pallets just popped out, as you saw. So we'll see how things go. Like, yeah, it's like not grabbing those right there, which is interesting. Now it appears to be grabbing them. So the nice thing is with the limiter, I'm going to have like partial pallets of things sitting around, which is also, it's okay. But yeah, I think I've got more than enough here to get this order complete. We're going to find out in a moment. Alright, Well, it's gonna be close. So, 17,500. We might not quite be there yet. Looks like we need another 500 liters. Looks like it's just storing that up. So it took nearly all day, but there is another pallet of lettuce. So you can see again how long it still takes, even with these larger greenhouses. Oh, but I need 3 more liters. So I'm probably going to need to wait into the morning. Alright, so it popped out and tells me I've reached my limit. So, not quite the full day. And the important thing is we've got enough with the tomatoes as well. So I can come back and get those 2,000 liters of tomatoes. Well, I need 2,002 liters in theory, so I may have to wait a little bit more. But it's definitely a challenge to drive through the woods here in the middle of the night. This is the best lighting. It's basically the truck is either on or off. That's it. There's no additional lights. I'm sure, you know, being in cab, maybe it would be a little bit easier. But I got through here once. I'm sure I'll get through again. There's a turn here that comes up and is a little surprising. Although, obviously, now that I was aware, I took it as if it was no problem at all. But the first time through, it definitely had woken me up. Alright, so the challenge here... Okay, so it's the far one, because they look the same, but the Mercado Central is the one that will take the potato processing material, and then Santo Spirito is the one that was part of the map. So we added this additional one here, so this is where we need to go, I believe. So there we go. Yep, we are filling the order. That is the most important thing. It takes a little while to empty out. Nice thing with selling to the market is we do make some money, so we've made about 17,000. Got that switched back to euros, I apologize. But at this point, the lettuce is done. And then go ahead and change this to 2,002. Hopefully, we'll be able to get the tomatoes done shortly, so I'll see you when we're ready to do that. Alright, so here we have the problem. Even though this is supposed to be 50% effective, it seems without any grain, the chickens do nothing. Alright, so we're here to finish the tomatoes. There we go. Alright, 3 of 4 level 4 VIP orders. So now I just need to head over this way, get to the eggs. We don't have the 30,000 yet, I don't think, unless it counts differently. But we may be getting to the point where it may be full. Yeah, so clearly this truck is too large to get in there, so just gonna have to get the eggs out here. But when we get them there, you can see they do get loaded. So what I do want to see is it 1,400 liters? It looks like it is. It is, but we're also at these pieces, which I think translate to liters. So I don't think we have enough yet. But I'm going to get everything on the truck, and I'll be back. Alright, 23,800 liters of 30,000. So the question is, I did end up getting some chicken feed. So the question ends up being, is this going to get me enough? If not, we'll just buy some more and we'll go from there. So I will see you once we have enough eggs. November morning at 8 a.m. We have to go to the bakery. I don't remember where that is. Alright, so the bakery is right in town here, so really close by. And it is not the 0 kilometer shop. I think I can go around the building here, trying to be conservative. Actually, it's right in town there. Wonder if I can get in between I don't know if there's enough room in behind. It's going to be really tight, so we're not going to try that. It looks like I got stuck on my own barn. Oh goodness, I really got stuck on my own barn. I think I can go through here. So yeah, the 0 kilometer shop is over there somewhere. But this should be the bakery. So let's hope we're right. Yep, we are. So, a good amount of eggs. But the VIPs will be happy. So many months have gone by to get these level 4 orders serviced, but we're finally gonna be here. So pretty exciting. And then we'll get to see what we need to start looking forward to, because we should be able to get level 5 hammered out pretty fast as well. Last few eggs. There we go. Level 5 appears. So at this point, I am going to go ahead and wrap this episode up, because we definitely have accomplished pretty much anything we could have hoped for. And yes, I know you're all screaming, but what's next? But what's next? We'll figure that out next time. So, especially since I keep getting stuck here. So I'm going to get myself back to the farm. If you've liked the video and haven't actually clicked the like button, please consider doing so. It helps the YouTube algorithm get things spread onto the world and gets more people here and seeing what's going on. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider that as well. Hope you've enjoyed this journey here in the hills of Tuscany and the fact that we're through level 4. I'm assuming at this point I haven't gotten any feedback about how long the series should go. So I guess that means it's up to me as to when I decide or how long I want to keep going. I'm sure people eventually might start chiming in and saying, end it already, but I've had no feedback, like virtually none, of, should it be 6 months in time? Should it be X number of episodes? You probably noticed I have stopped doing 2 episodes a week. That was getting difficult now that things are taking more time to get done and move forward. It's hard enough to get 1 episode out a week. So I've reverted back to the weekend schedule. But that may or may not change. We'll see how things go. I'm going to leave this here because it's as good a place as any right now. But yeah, if you have any feedback on length and so forth, now that you've seen and now that we know we're through level 4 and how many episodes it's taken, let me know. But with that, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll see you next time.